Hey, welcome, folks, to Wizards Outlook. We got Raymond Lyons here tonight. We got Cardell Dudley Jr. and Wilson Tarpe Jr. The Washington Wizards took on the Orlando Magic. Today's the first half of a back-to-back. They will be on the road tomorrow night, Madison Square Garden, to take on the New York Knicks. That's it for tonight. We saw the Magic's dynamic duo combined for 50, and Orlando's 120-105 win over Washington. Ray, we'll start with you, and then Cardell. Just your thoughts on this one, and where did where did things officially go wrong? We saw that third quarter. They had one of them third quarters been talking about all year long, but you guys were in the building, so the floor is yours.
Yeah, man. The Wizards were honestly just fighting for their life from the beginning anyway. But as the game went on, the Magic continued to get stronger, and the Wizards faded away. And that's basically what we saw. In the previous two matchups this year, we saw the Magic's size just kind of wear on the Wizards and eventually break them. And that was pretty much a blueprint for tonight as well. It was semi-competitive for a minute, but at a certain point, the Magic just realized they were bigger and stronger and just put their heads down and got to the basket relentlessly. And it's like they always use the analogy. It's like a running game in football. They just keep pounding you and pounding you. And as the game goes on, you just can't withstand the punishment. You fade away. And that's what we saw. The Magic lead just continued to increase. Wendell Carter Jr., man, he went shot and did it in a multitude of ways. Not just down low. He hit some threes as well. Paolo, he started off just kind of directing traffic and getting his teammates into the game. And then once he started to get aggressive offensively as well, that just compounded the issues for the Wizards. And the Magic just overwhelmed them. And, and they went ahead and just rolled that on to a pretty easy win.
All right, Cardell, your take on the night.
Yeah, they did. Orlando's in playoff mode, man. So I knew it'd be a tall order for the Wizards to come in here and try to hold them off. Pretty much in the first quarter, led by their defense, the Magic jumped on them right away. I think they had about 16 points in the paint in the first quarter. They were right away dominant. No, actually 18 points in the paint. The Wizards fought to keep it close, but after that first quarter, when the Magic jumped on them and then the Wizards battled back, you could just tell the energy wasn't there. And the Magic just kept coming. Suffocating defense, pressing full court, trapping in the half court, being physical, and they just kept attacking the Wizards. And then that softened up the Wizards defense, and then that's when the three-pointers came. Then before you know it, they're up 30 plus with giving it to the Wizards every which way possible from the field. But with that being said, man, I'm not gonna really get on the Wizards too much, man. We all heard the bad news about Bub Carrington's father passing away earlier. So I know that messed up the whole. I know everybody. You could just see Bub was out of sync all game. You could just tell. So I know that messed up the whole morale of the team. I get it. They're professionals. You're supposed to still show up to work and figure it out. That's the name of the game. But this is a very, very young team. And they're very close to their team trying to figure it out. And this is a blow, just the human nature of anybody, you should be able to understand why they were flat, and why they were out of sync, so to speak, man. So, look, the Magic saw that. It's not their job to feel sorry for them. We fighting for something over here, but we're going to get you about it and keep it moving. So, in the sense, they did what they should do. But I'm not going to jump on the Wizards too much for this game because ain't no telling what's going on. You can just see it. He was above. You could tell he wasn't himself. You know what I mean? And they needed him to be himself to even be competitive with these guys. And rightfully so, he wasn't. Anybody can understand why. I know he in the league. You're going to have people like, man, whatever, but 19 years old, you lose your pops. And it's like, you're not just losing your pops. You're losing a big, big figure in the basketball community in Baltimore and this area. He helped a lot of big-time hoopers get to college, and the leader of that group made it to the pros. Man, he has his fingerprints on a lot of people, and all levels of basketball. So, like it's felt throughout not just the organization but the area because of his impact. So you can give the Wizards a pass for being flat tonight, and I'm not happy.
For sure. And also want to take the time and extend our condolences to Buff's family and what a loss it was for the basketball community as a whole, as you just laid out. All right, y'all. Player of the game, X Factor. You guys knows what's next.
Paulo by far, he was dominant. He was dominant.
All right. Well, since he made that easy, the X Factor.
The biggest Wendell Carter.
Yeah.
On rebounds and his defensive sides, even on switches and stuff, like I said, like Ray pointed out, it's like a running back. You just keep running the ball. Eventually, you'll fade, and that's what the Wizards did. They started to fade, and that front court was just dominant, man. And whatever they did do, I got to give KCP Containers Caldwell Post some props. He was hounding the Wizards guards. They was struggling to dribble up court, bro. Like he was ripping them clean. It was something ridiculous, man. So yeah, Mosley sent the dogs after him tonight. Get it over early, get some rest, so we can move on to the next one.
Yeah, one of the things last before we get out of here, we've had this discussion. I think maybe the last time Orlando and Washington played, where one of the questions I think you had, Cardo, was about who could eventually be that third person that Orlando needs. And I think I think we had discussed it was between Wendell Carter, Cole Anthony, and Anthony Black. In terms of who they needed consistently. And Wendell Carter tonight stepped up. Anthony Black helped as well, but Wendell Carter took the lion's share of being that third option. We see just how much that adds to Orlando. We saw that tonight. We know what the other two bring. That's a given. But if you get the third and the fourth thing going, it becomes even more harder to deal with. Like you said, they're in playoff mode for the Wizards. They get a chance to bounce back tomorrow night on the road in New York, and we'll check in with you guys then.